Hello everyone, this is the introduction to the haiku photography project. A haiku is a type of Japanese poetry that emerged in the 17th century. The format is a short 3-line poem. The first line contains 5 syllables, the second has 7, and the last line has 5. You can remember it as 575. These short but meaningful poems are traditionally focused on an aspect of nature or the season and juxtapose 2 images or ideas. This is a very old haiku poem. A bat flits in the moonlight above the plum blossoms. A haida is a work of art that includes a haiku. So technically, we will be making haigas. While they are traditionally painted with sumi ink on rice paper, today haiga are created in a range of mediums including photography and digital art. Mouth of the river, an ever-changing story told to the sea. Step number 1, select or write a haiku. The flowers wither beneath the weight of the sun, yet the weeds stand proud. Whether you choose to write your own haiku or use someone else's, first do some exploring. Complete the research assignment linked in Google Classroom, where you will browse through some great examples of haiku poetry. To write your own haiku, use the 575 format. Step number 2, take photos. We're using the usual 10 photos equals a B, 15 is an A minus, and 20 is an A, and you will be turning those in to Google Classroom. Think carefully about the meaning of your chosen haiku. What sort of photos can you take to literally and/or symbolically illustrate the meaning of your haiku? Apply all of the photography skills you acquired first semester, such as use good lighting. Remember the composition techniques: point of view, rule of thirds, leading lines, get close, depth of field, etc. Incorporate the elements and principles of design. We learned about the elements last semester, and we're starting to learn about the principles this semester. Be sure to take photos with your end project in mind. Your choice for the final project will affect the way you take your photos. We're going to talk about your choices next. Step 3, the final project. You have several choices of what to do with your photos for the final project. 1, a greeting card with text. 2, a Phototriptic with text. 3, a Google slide presentation with text and music. And 4, an Adobe Express slide presentation with text, narration, and music. Let's look at each one of those individually. Option 1, greeting card with text. This is a greeting card made by a local artist named Annette Makino. This is a painting, but you will be doing yours with a photograph. For this option, take a series of photos to illustrate your haiku. You should end up with one great photo that clearly captures the meaning. Use Photoshop to edit your photos, adjust the saturation, add filters, turn it to black and white, add a gradient map, whatever technical or creative adjustments that you need to make to your photo. Add the haiku text on top of the photos. Make sure the text is legible and well placed. Include the author's name. This is some of Annette Makino's work. She's a local artist known for watercolor, collage, and creating haiku and haiga art. Option number 2, a Phototriptic with text. On the path, only one of us, touched by a falling leaf. A triptych is an artwork made up of 3 pieces. For this option, take a series of photos to illustrate your haiku. You should end up with one great photo for each line of the poem. Use Photoshop to make whatever technical or creative adjustments you need. And assemble the 3 photos in one document with even spacing between each photo and even borders. As you can see in this example, the artist has enhanced the color of the photos, and in the middle photo has used the selective color technique where most of the photo is black and white and only parts of it are in color. Add the haiku text on top of the photo. Make sure the text is legible and well placed. And be sure to include the author's name. Option number 3, Google Slide presentation with text and music. Your Google slideshow should have 4 slides. The first slide is the title slide with your name. Slide number 2 is line 1 of the haiku with a photo. Slide number 3 is the second line of the haiku with a photo, and slide number 4 is the last line of the haiku with a photo. You'll notice that this student did some really creative things with each slide. Most of the slides have a couple of photos. Some of the photos are turned sideways. You'll also notice that she did some really interesting things with the text. Notice fallen on the first line of the slide has FFF and then lots of L's. And it's interesting colors and interesting fonts. Notice on the next slide that each word is a different color and it's a different size. And on the last slide, all of the text is lined up in a row on the side. I think it looks amazing. Fallen stories trapped, surrendered to the walls, to live and to die there. For this option, take a series of photos to illustrate your haiku. You should end up with one great photo for each line of the poem. For this option, make a presentation with 4 slides as outlined above. Carefully design each slide to include a photo and text arranged in an artistically pleasing way. Be sure to include your name and the author's name. Do a Google search to learn how to add music to your presentation. Option number 4, Adobe Express. For this option, take a series of photos to illustrate your haiku. You should end up with one great photo for each line of the poem and one photo for the title. That's a total of 4 photos. Watch the video tutorial posted in Google Classroom for step-by-step instructions. It's really easy. Use Photoshop to edit your photos, both technically and creatively. Add the haiku text on top of the photos and make sure the text is legible and well placed. And be sure to save your photos as JPEGs so that you can use them with Adobe Express. Let's go ahead and listen to this example that I made.
The Nap, narrated by Justine Smith, starring Mac Panther, Finny, and Fluffy Brewster. Time to take a nap. Snuggle up real close to me. I'll purr you to sleep.
That's it, everyone. Have fun with your project.